So Sadman, I was gonna ask you a question, but I think I know the answer of that question. So based on the answer of the previous question, I'm gonna ask you another question. So why do you watch Netflix instead of reading books?
Bad habit.
Ah,
I like movies because I used to read books like since last when actually yeah I used to read like till 8th grade. Then somehow I got derived and end up in all this internet and everything. So yeah, I was gonna say in one episode one day like I regret that I actually lost the reading habit.
we all know the old slogan, right? That books are our best friends. So we should read books instead of watching Netflix.
It's personal preference.
Yeah, it is. So what's up everyone? Welcome back to Invisible Voice. I am Tasrif. As always, I have with me Sadman. So Sadman, one question. It is completely off the topic, but what is the no, I'm not gonna ask you that.
Okay.
Some people would argue that watching Netflix instead of reading books is completely it's a bad habit. And you also said that before, right? But I think I will disagree to that because we don't speak English as our first language, right? It's our second language. And we all know that when we watch Netflix or when we watch movies or TV series, and if that is in English, I think watching Netflix or like watching movies instead of reading our books, I think that is more important. Would you agree to that?
It's personal preference again because that doesn't make sense. The only watching Netflix and watching English movies is gonna make you literate in English or like spoken English and stuff. There are thousand other ways. So like yeah, it's completely personal preference.
But I think that will make us more familiar with English. I think that is needed the most.
It's up to every single personal. It's what they prefer, what they like. If they like watching a movie, then it's up to them. If they like reading a book, it's completely up to them. There's no like actual answer what's good and what's bad.
But you said that you regret watching Netflix, right?
Yes, I regret.
Then why do you watch Netflix?
I don't regret watching Netflix.
You just said 1 second ago.
Bro, you just turned the whole meaning over. I said I miss my reading habit. I regret that I lost the reading habit. I never said that I regret watching Netflix.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, to me, it's fun. Of course, if it was not fun, why would I watch Netflix? Reading book was also fun to me, but somehow I lost it.
But here's the thing. I think it's a very dumb question to ask, but have you ever thought that reading book is completely waste of time?
No, it never occurred to me that.
But have you ever thought that in case of watching a movie?
If the movie is bad, then I, of course, it occurs to me that it was a waste of time. Depends on the movie, actually.
I get the point what you're trying to say.
Yes.
But here's the thing. I I kind of disagree with that. The thing is like when a book, a reading book or like a non-fictional book, it's like 250 to 300 pages, right? And it takes quite some time to complete a book. And whereas a movie is
Yeah, if you're a slow reader, then it might take you very long time to finish a average book.
no, I'm not that kind of a slow reader that it will take me a month to read a book. But the thing is like for average person, it will take 1 week or like that. And whereas watching a movie, it's like for 1.5 hours. At most, it's like 2 hours, right? You can see what I'm trying to say here, right? The thing is, if I read a book, it will cost me more time than if I watch a movie. Do you agree with that?
No,
Why?
completely no. Do you really asking that?
Yes, I'm asking that.
Are you really asking that point?
Like, what do you think that, like, what reading a book makes time more worth than watching a movie?
Okay, okay. So like,
It's
let me ask you a question.
it's a
Just,
dumb question,
just
right?
don't get triggered. Don't get triggered.
No, I'm not.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think this question has merit? How many points?
I
Your
know
question
that,
has.
but like there is some percentage of truth to that question, right?
To me, it's none.
But you have to prove that, like, reading a book is worth than watching a movie. Like, can you prove that?
Definitely not. Definitely not. Why, man? Why do
I
you
knew,
even have to prove that?
I knew that.
Yeah, this does not have any merit, this question. Like, you know it yourself, then why are you asking me?
Everyone says that book is like reading a book is a very good habit, and I agree with that idea. And I think like those who read books, I think they are very smart, very talented.
Just because you never read a book.
No, that's not true, Sadman. Like, I read books in my past life. Like, I always wanted to read books, and I read some books. It's not that I don't read books. I try to read books at least. So
Yeah, that is where the point of reading habit comes. Like, of course, you just movies are for entertainment. Movies does not have any learning purpose. Most of the movies, about 90 or 95 or more than that, actually does not have any learning point. These are just for refreshment, to relax, to chill. To movies are like you watch a movie having a popcorn on your lap with a can of coke beside you. But when you're reading a book, this does not happen, right?
yeah, but we also read books for our entertainment, right?
Yeah, that's a very different kind of entertainment.
Yeah, but that is still an entertainment, though.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. Like, both are entertainments, and if I watch a movie, I'm gonna get entertained, and the same goes for reading books. Like, if I read read a book, if I complete a book, then it will take me some time, but definitely after reading that book, I'm gonna be entertained. But that movie, it takes 2 hours from your life, where the book takes like 3 days from your life. Like,
Now tell me how much learning you can get from a movie and how much you can get from a like by reading a book. It occurs to me like you never actually read a book and loved it. Am I right?
no, I've read three books and I liked all of them. And I always wanted to read more. But then I thought of this idea. Weird
You
idea.
might feel bad. You might feel bad, but you have to know more about books. Like starting from now on, you should start that. I would recommend that. Highly recommend that because you can't argue or debate on a subject that you don't know. That becomes like dumbness or foolishness. And not to hurt, bro, not to hurt. Just saying.
The thing is, like, I can't control my hype. That's the whole problem of this thing.
Hype as
Because, like, I'm gonna read books, like non-fictional books. I'm gonna read those type of non-fictional books that I am interested in, right? And then when I start to read that, like, I can't do anything else unless I am finished with that book. As this goes same as watching a movie. And here's the problem.
yeah, like fine. Like but when you are reading a book, you can actually relate to the character or like imagine or set up the character in your mind. Literally you can imagine that if you like read fictions or like novels, you actually relate to the characters, every character of the book. You might think yourself as the protagonist or you might think as yourself one of the antagonist of the book, but you like relate to the plot, relate to the ambience, relate to the environment of the book, and it stays for a long time. This gives you something, this gives you some mental pleasure. When you are watching a movie, that also happens, but that's for a very short span of time. I'm not saying that movies are bad, reading books is good. That's not I'm saying. You just ask me that pick any one of those. I'm not willing to pick any one of those because I like watching movies too. I learned many things from like from watching a movie, but no, of course not as the same amount from reading a book. Like, let me give you an example. When I was in class 5 or 6, I read two whole novel, like two parts of a novel named Purva Paschim by Sunil Gangopadhyay. At that age, I was not even supposed to touch the book. Like, it was about 1947, the division of countries like Pakistan and India. That's not the fact. There was other contents in the book, some adult contents as well. Like, there is this taboo that reading this type of thing makes you bad and stuff, but my family never held me from like reading anything. Reading does not make you bad. This is like whole this taboo or like whole stupid concept. This is like totally stupid concept. Of course there might some R-rated content and stuff, but reading a book does not gonna make you like that. But nowadays it's so easy to reach or like watch a porn and stuff. That's easy. That too in a sense is movie. Am I right? That's
So let me make a point. So
no,
I
no. You stop. Let me finish. Let me finish. You are just saying that how your points are getting destroyed. Let me let me help you. So yeah. So what I was saying, like watching a blue film, of course, has some bad impact. Of course, has some bad impact. So, but reading a book does not make you any. What should I say? Reading a book does not make you bad or stuff. There is this whole taboo. So like if you read book, if you have the habit of reading book, you can relate to that. If you does not have that reading of habit, a habit of reading, so like you never can relate to that. There is this it's not my age yet to read non-fictional books like written by Bill Gates and stuff, etc., etc. It's not my age yet. This is my age to build up habit of reading books. So I prefer fictional books. I started from very young age. So that
but the habit is gone now, right?
yeah, and I regret that. But it's never gone. Actually, I got like derived or like got distracted by other stuff.
At first, from our, like, when everyone is younger, we used to read books, and after that, when we are like we grow a little bit more, the habit of reading books goes away. What do you think the reason behind this?
For me, it was like distraction, like the cell phone I got. That was the main distraction. The internet and stuff. It was the distraction.
I didn't get cell phone, but still.
You never built the habit actually. As I can sense, you never built the habit of reading book. So yeah,
So
am I right?
yeah, you are right.
Yeah, it works different. Yes, please.
You said about like imagining the character from that book you used to read, and have you ever imagined yourself as the character from those book, like, or movies that you normally see?
Yes, most of the time. Most of the time, it's like almost everyone does that. Almost everyone does that. Most of the time, it's the protagonist you actually want to relate to. But I actually do that in case of reading books and stuff. Because like when you're reading a book, you actually totally made the plot in your head. You even like try to create the face or the like try to create the characters in the book by all yourself, right? You can actually understand it when you read a book and saying like suppose I'm reading a book, here's this protagonist, here's this side character and stuff. This I actually try to imagine all the characters in my head. I try to imagine how their hair might look, how their gesture posture might be, how the house they're living in, how that house might be, or like the road they're walking on, how the environment might be there. So I'm like thinking every details. This gives me pleasure. This gives me fun when I'm reading a book because you have the freedom to imagine it all by yourself. But when you're watching a movie, you're like doing you're like watching through a specific mind point of view, like from the point of view of direct from the point of view of the protagonist, but it was said by the director or the screenplay writer or the other stuff and stuff. You are watching to their imagination, not yours. So this sometimes actually disappoints you. Like, let me give you an example. There is this novel of Humayun Ahmed named Devi. This was a like story. This so I actually read this whole story, and I completely tried to relate to the story as like other stories and stuff whenever I'm reading a novel or a book. After later some years, some year after 1 or 2 year maybe, they actually made a movie out of this story. So when I started to watch the movie, I couldn't relate or like couldn't match my imagination with the characters or the plot or the environment of the story. So I actually did not watch the movie. That's how I am. You're understanding what I'm trying to say, right?
Yes, but the thing is, I never imagined myself as a character from the book, but I definitely imagined myself as a character from the movie that I see or like I used to see. And I think it's very exciting. And it happens me almost all the time when I see a new movie or like when I watch a new TV series.
Yes, this gives you the pleasure. That's the happiness you get. At least it works for me.
So let's jump to another topic. So Sadman, have you ever hallucinated in your sleep?
Hallucinated in sleep.
Yes.
Not really, actually. Not really.
But you know what hallucination is, right?
Can you even hallucinate in sleep? You
Yes.
can hallucinate when you are awake. How can you hallucinate when you are asleep?
Like the thing is about hallucination is like you hallucinate when you are like up from sleep. Just right after the moment you get up from sleep. Like not after quite some time, but yeah, like you can hallucinate in real life when you are like standing and your brain is not functioning properly. You can hallucinate, but the hallucination after.
That happened to me. In sleep hallucination, I have never heard of that. But the other type of hallucination happened to me.
What type of hallucination?
Like when your brain is too much tired, you are trying to get some sleep, like your body is not functioning properly, but you're trying to stay awake. That moment, like you kind of lost the perspective of reality and the other dimension and stuff. Like it seems, how do I put this, like so hazy, like everything seems so hazy.
I think it has something to do with stress.
Yeah, stress. Most of the time it's stress. Cause
So Sadman, you know what hallucination is, and I also know that. But for those of you who don't know what hallucination is, will you explain that
you
to them?
explain.
No, Sadman,
No,
please.
I'll not. No, I understand.
All right,
Every time
I
you try
don't
to
know.
put this,
I don't know what hallucination is. Explain that to
I
me.
don't even know. I just forgot right now.
Seriously, Sadman.
Yeah. What is hallucination?
All
We
right,
are willing to
just
know.
Google yourself. Whoever listening and you don't know what hallucination is, just Google that.
Definitely great idea. I would say every time next time.
Oh,
That's a definitely a good idea. Thank you, man.
bro, like So one time I hallucinated, like it's not in the sleep as you just said, but it's right. And I was sleeping alone, and it was like 1 in the morning. Somehow I woke up, and then I saw all the walls around me was written in different symbols, like mathematical symbols, like different types of letters, and those were all in different types of color. It was like a rainbow type of thing, and I thought it was kind of interesting because like when people heard about hallucination, or like most of them think that it's a like ghost related thing, right? But it's actually not a ghost related thing. Do you believe that it's a ghost related thing?
No,
Do you believe in ghosts?
no.
Do you sleep alone?
Yes.
Bro,
I prefer to sleep always. Like I can sleep with someone else in my bed.
interesting. Like the thing is, when I try to sleep alone, I think like in the darkness, especially, I think like I sleep sideways, right? Like when I sleep sideways, I
Someone is standing behind you with a knife in the hand.
yes, yes. No, not a knife. I think like what if someone is just standing me and observing me or just watching me, and then I think it's kind of creepy. Like that's the problem. Have you ever thought about that?
Yes, everyone thinks about that.
What is your explanation behind that? Like how did you get rid of that?
You are making your mind think that
Yes,
there
I
is.
know, but like the thing is, I can't get rid of that. Right, you know what I mean.
That's your problem. If it gets acute, then you should consult a psychiatrist.
No, it's not getting in that level because I don't sleep alone and that is not bugging me. So I think we're okay. So I Googled what causes hallucination. And what Google showed me is kind of funny because it said hallucination is like when you take illegal drugs or alcohol and it's a mental illness, and it said a disease. I can't pronounce the disease, it's too hard. And
Schizophrenia.
yes,
Schizophrenia.
yes, something like that.
This is it. Schizophrenia.
What is this?
This is this disease that the person who is suffering from this disease, they always like think they are always like paranoid about stuff, someone trying to chase them, kill them, or trying to hunt them down. This type of paranoia they always feel. So from that kind of stress and paranoid situation, they hallucinate stuff that someone is standing right in front of them, trying to kill them, hurt them, this type of thing.
I think those are mentally ill, right?
Yeah, this is a psychiatric disease.
So another, it's like Parkinson's disease, loss of vision caused by conditions such as macular degeneration, like, and that is called Charles Bonnet syndrome, things like that. I think
Yeah,
none of this was the reason when I hallucinated. So that is
these are just simple stories we used to hear at night when our mom trying to get us, put us to sleep, that just fall asleep, there's a person standing behind you and stuff. And we used to hear the stories of ghosts from our grandparents. So these kind of actually set in our mind. So from that kind of mindset, we actually think this type of stuff.
the thing is
These are not, in your case, this is not some kind of mental problem or like some kind of
mental disease.
psychiatric. Yeah, this is not your case. This is just your simple fear, or like the fear you that from the childhood fear, it actually grew up a little.
Yes, the
It will go off with time.
childhood fear. You said it very right. Because like I didn't hear ghost stories from my parents. Like my mom and dad didn't tell me about ghost stories. But the thing is like I am never comfortable when I watch ghost movies alone. But I'm comfortable when I watch ghost movies with my cousins or whatever the person is. But I can't watch the ghost movies by myself. After watching that movie, when I am alone, then that thought starts to come out and it starts to haunts me, like what did I just saw, like what if it's all real, like that's how I
Yes,
got this ghost fear thing. Have you ever experienced deja vu?
yes.
Tell me your story, I'm very interested because like deja vu happens to me almost every day.
Yeah, this is like just random events. You're sitting in your bed and you feel like just what this has happened before, like the same exact spot. But you know that you have never been there or never been here anytime before, but you still feel that feeling, you get that, or you get a clear vision of that thing, right? Like this kind of like our muscle memory, like we are doing everyday stuff, just I'm just sitting in my bed, just I'm just randomly sitting in my bed with my mobile in my hand, just then just suddenly I think I have seen this picture before. Even I get some partial vision of this scene, but I'm watching this video or like this picture before, but this picture or video has never been published before, literally just never been published before. You get the logic, but still you feel that you have seen this before. Like this, it just happens, right?
Yes, it happens randomly. So what Google says about deja vu is like it's associated with temporal lobe epilepsy. This experience is a neurological anomaly related to epileptic electrical discharge in the brain, creating a strong
So much science talk. Okay, not finished yet. Yeah,
yeah,
finish please.
creating a strong sensation that an event or experience currently being experienced has already been experienced in the past. So if I simplify all this is basically something that happened to you in the past is happening again in you are experiencing that in your dream, but little differently. Have I said that correctly, Sadman?
I actually did not understand the science part, so I would say that yeah, you said just fine.
No, like,
You said just fine.
did you get what simplified? Did you get the
I
simplified
have,
portion?
yeah, it's good. It's yeah, convincing.
So The deja vu, like scientists have researched and they try to find what is the actual cause behind deja vu, and but they didn't find the actual cause behind that. But what they found is that deja vu doesn't happen until you are 8 or 9 years old, but it is most frequent in the teenage, and it starts to tapers off after you are 20. So it's kind of a teenage thing, we can say that.
This is interesting because
Yes, like
I did not know that.
I found that in Google, and but here's the problem. So I don't know if you know Vsauce. Do you know Vsauce?
Not actually.
Yeah, Vsauce is like, it's he's a YouTuber basically, and he makes all these science videos. And he made a video about deja vu. It was like 8 years ago. There, he said something scary. I don't exactly remember what he said, but according to his lecture, those who experience deja vu, guys like me, tends to have minor brain damage. But he said it's normal. But that doesn't make feel good either, knowing that you might have a brain damage or you have a brain damage, right? Do you believe that?
Believe what?
That you might have a brain damage or like those type of mental disease if you happens to be hallucinate or deja vu, that kind of thing? Or like, do you think it's supernatural?
I don't know, man. Really don't know. No idea.
So yeah, that's it. I think dream is kind of infinitive. Oh, Sadman, do you believe in dreams? Like, when I heard that about, it's like when someone dreams and that becomes a reality. Do you believe that? Like dreams become
Uh,
reality?
Dreams are actually mysterious.
Yes.
You sometimes dream from the past. You actually cannot know that you dreamt from the future. So this is a mystery. The another mystery about dream is you forget it so quickly. Like if you dreamed something from the future, you are there is 99% possibility you'd forget that you and you can actually say that you have dreamed this thing after like 2 or 4 years. So yeah, dream is mysterious.
The most interesting thing is like the feeling you get when you are dreaming and just woke up, right? So when,
Yes,
oh,
that feels like reality. You have seen the movie Inception?
yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's that's the type of thing we're talking about.
And the funny thing is, like, researchers are researching about dreams, like what
Yeah, this is something to research about.
they are putting their money.
Yeah, because human brain. This is about human brain, human psychology. You have if you know like what triggers dreaming and why you dream what you dreamed, you actually can understand like how much valuable this information gonna get. This will be super interesting if just find something about dreaming.
Do you believe in hypnosis?
Never experienced that, but have seen many times and read many times in books.
Like, I have seen that on internet, but I have never seen that in my real life. I saw like 10 or
Yes,
20 videos.
psychiatrist most probably does this, but hypnosis is somewhat scientific. So I can say that yeah, I believe it somewhat. I
Like,
believe it.
the thing is, it's super interesting. Like, you just go and hypnosis people, and if you say you don't remember anything, and then that person that you hypnotized doesn't remember anything, like, that's super cool.
Yes,
Like, if I get a job like that, I would be down to do that.
like to get hypnotized,
No,
like
not to get hypnotized, but to hypnotize people, other people. Like, that's, I think, interesting.
hypnosis is serious, like some serious issue. For say, like I hypnotized you. If I say you to go to the roof and jump, you do that.
Yes, I would do that if you hypnotize me correctly.
Exactly. So this is dangerous.
No, like, don't make me do that kind of stuff, but you can do funny stuff if you.
I don't believe the magician hypnosis. Like there are many magicians who does this on their show. They bring out some people, wave a pendulum in front of their eyes, then they get hypnotized. I don't believe this kind of shits, but the things psychiatrist does, I believe that.
So these are very interesting stuff. I think we can go on for hours if we want to, but we're not going to. So yeah, that's everything for today's episode. That is it. And Sadman, it's time for your outro.
I forgot again.
Bro, like,
Shit, man. We are doing this episode in this much time difference. I actually forgot the outro. Stay safe. Nah, go out. Stay safe. No, no, what was that? Enjoy the world safely. Go out. Enjoy the world safely. That's it. Ta 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 ta.
enjoy the world while staying safe.
Yes, that's my thing, and I forget that. Shit, man. Thank you.
That how life works basically. So yeah, that is it for today's episode. There was Sadman's out.